We've talked about many different healthy foods here on the channel, from superfoods to fermented foods, or simply foods that are rich in a specific category. We always try to do our best to cover the best and most nutritious pieces on the planet. But recently, there's been one food that health experts have been losing their minds over, and that is wheatgrass. Hello and welcome to our channel. Welcome to Wellness. Today we'll be going over everything you need to know about wheatgrass. We'll cover what it is, as well as the top 7 health benefits of this delicious plant. So if this seems like something you'd want to know more about, stick around. Before we get down to it, if you enjoyed these kinds of videos and find them helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel as we release new health-related content on a regular basis. And by subscribing, you'll never miss another video. With that being said, let's get a pair of scissors and let's go cut ourselves some wheatgrass. What is wheatgrass? Let's first get this out of the way. Wheatgrass is indeed grass. However, it's not just any grass, and it's definitely not the kind of grass that you usually find in someone's backyard. Instead, wheatgrass is the type of grass that comes from wheat itself. It's baby wheat, if you will. Flour, bread, and everything else that comes from them are created from the seed of the wheat. The grass is mostly consumed in the form of juice, squeezed right after it was cut, or in the form of a powder, which is still dissolved in water, similar to matcha tea. By the way, we have a whole video on matcha tea, so if you'd like to see that, it will be left in the description down below. Anyway, the wheat seed is what's used to make bread flour, and as you may know, it's not the healthiest piece of food out there. That's because while it is nutritional and tasty, it also has gluten in it. This, of course, can lead to some digestive problems, allergies, inflammation, and so on. That being said, this is where the magic of wheatgrass comes into play. It has no gluten in it. Instead, it turns out the wheatgrass, while in the stage of being just grass up to 4 or maybe 6 inches, is in its most nutritional form. Sounds a bit counterintuitive, but when it still hasn't grown fully, you can get the most nutrients from it. So basically, wheatgrass juice has more nutrients than fully grown wheat, and it doesn't have any gluten in it, which makes for a really nice health combo. Before we get into the amazing health benefits that can come with wheatgrass, we first need to dedicate a small section of this video to how to consume it. Simply because it's important to know this. As stated, wheatgrass comes in 2 main forms, juice and powder. But there are 2 types of powder, and this difference is important to know. One is the juice powder, which is basically used to put into your water and drink, like matcha tea. The other is simply wheatgrass powder. So one is juice powder and the other is only powder. The wheatgrass itself is composed of tons of fiber, but we humans don't have the necessary enzymes that cows do to absorb and break down all that fiber. That's why we can't just eat it as grass. But regular wheatgrass powder is basically the same. It has tons of fiber and not that much nutritional value. So if you're going to be buying wheatgrass for yourself, make sure it specifically says juice powder, as it's 100% absorbable. With that said, let's get into the top 7 health benefits that wheatgrass can have for you. Number 1. Crazy nutritional value. Wheatgrass is another one of those so-called superfoods. It's packed with an extremely powerful nutrient combination that helps your body in more ways than you can imagine. So much so that even though there are a ton more studies that need to be done to know the full extent of it, scientists are already calling it complete nourishment, which basically means that it has everything your body needs. From macro to micronutrients, vitamins, proteins, iron, and calcium, it has it all. It's almost like a cheat to get your full daily dose of nutrients in an easier manner. A perfect superfood. Number 2. Boosts immune system. As we already established, wheatgrass is jam-packed with nutrients all over the board. One of the big groups that wheatgrass covers when it comes to nutrition is vitamins. Its richness in vitamins is ridiculous in itself. But what's even more ridiculous is the effect this has on people. In a bunch of studies, wheatgrass consumption was shown to boost the immune system so much that when infected with the virus, the body was able to beat it 2 or sometimes even 3 times as fast. On top of that, when your immunity is at its best, your body doesn't waste any energy compensating for it, and you feel more energetic and upbeat. Lastly, wheatgrass has been shown to be particularly helpful in fighting off antibiotic-resistant infections, and helps you avoid using rough antibiotics for lesser infections like colds and flu. Number 3. High in antioxidants. Wheatgrass is incredibly rich in antioxidants. In fact, it's one of the best foods that you can eat if you're looking to get rid of toxins in your body. According to researchers, a glass of wheatgrass juice a day can significantly help your body in fighting off different toxins and impurities. By getting rid of toxins in the body, you'll not only lower inflammation, but you'll also really help out your liver and take a lot of the load off of it. This in turn raises your energy levels and your feeling of lightness in the body, and ultimately makes you way more healthy than you previously were. The reason wheatgrass is so good at this is that every little mineral, enzyme, and chemical that you take in while eating it is extremely easy to absorb. That's why every benefit sounds like it has a really strong effect on the body. It really does. Number 4. Boost metabolism. We've talked about a lot of foods that help with digestion here on the channel. A lot of these foods have one thing in common. They boost your metabolism and have it work faster to help you lose more weight. Whether this is easily digestible food or food that balances out your gut bacteria, the idea is still to have optimal gut health and digestion. The thing is, wheatgrass is up there with some of the best metabolism-boosting foods, like green tea and different protein-rich foods. A juice a day can help a lot if you're trying to lose weight, as it helps your digestive system and it doesn't burden it in the process. That's because wheatgrass juice has little to no calories and fat, while being extremely dense in nutrients. This means that you'll feel fuller even though you've taken in fewer calories, and you'll stay with that feeling for longer. This not only works wonders on your stomach on its own, but you'll be less compelled to eat junk food, as your body will recognize what it feels like to be healthy. Number 5. Blood sugar regulation. High blood sugar is a problem for many people. It can cause a variety of problems like headaches, frequent bathroom breaks, and a constant feeling of thirst. And of course, it can be detrimental in the long term, causing different nerve and sight damage. But have no fear, wheatgrass is here. In a couple of studies, diabetics were given wheatgrass juice, and what ended up happening was that the levels of their enzymes responsible for blood sugar regulation were in the favor of lowering the blood sugar. In another study, it was shown that just a month of 1 glass of wheatgrass juice a day significantly decreased their blood sugar levels. It's still hard to say exactly what wheatgrass does to help out with these problems, but if the radio's working, it's not the time to smack it. Number 6. Reduces inflammation. Inflammation in the body is arguably one of the biggest reasons for most diseases, including cancer and heart disease. While most studies need to be done on this, there was one study that was tracking patients with ulcerative colitis. This is a disease started by an inflamed large intestine, and the symptoms are scary for a lot of people, as they include rectal bleeding. In the study, the patients were given half a glass of wheatgrass juice a day, and the results were staggering. Nearly all the patients had reduced bleeding, and the inflammation had gone down by quite a bit. There's still a lot of speculation as to why exactly this happens, but one theory is that because wheatgrass is pretty rich in chlorophyll, and chlorophyll inhibits the function of a protein that's responsible for triggering inflammatory reactions. That's why it works so well. Whatever the case, it's shown to work, and for now, that's all we need to know. Number 7. Reduces cholesterol. And finally, another big part of why wheatgrass is so praised by health experts is that it reduces cholesterol. In a couple of studies, the effects of wheatgrass were similar to, and even sometimes outshine those of atorvastatin. This is a prescription pill used to lower cholesterol in patients with too high of a level. Another study showed that while it does help in decreasing the bad cholesterol in the body, it also increases good cholesterol levels simultaneously. This effect happened in 10 weeks of an everyday wheatgrass intake, and it sure looks promising. Even so, more studies need to be done to make full sense of it. All in all, wheatgrass is a crazy superfood that heals the body, fills it with nutrients, and is an incredible addition to any diet. So what do you say? Will you add wheatgrass to your diet? Let us know in the comments below if you know any other health benefits this baby grass can have. Also, if you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a like and to subscribe to our channel to be notified of future content. This was all for today, so keep healthy, and as always, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.